I'm not going to win, but I don't want to lose. And it's a bit of an issue because one mistake and you might actually end up losing this game.
So that's not the right mentality to go into this game with, Dan?
Well, for me, considering how we've been, conceding goals, of lately, we are not first to the ball. And again, like I mentioned earlier on offset, that when it comes to counter pressing, we do more of zona marking than counter pressing, and that has been our challenge. So in the face of defense, we want to be able to have someone like Oyeka who can be able to support in the defense line. Remember in the days of Pedro, what they call him, the previous coach, before, sometimes we play even back five to make sure that we don't concede, and that helps. So I guess that's the formation that Eric wants to play on here, so that he can have Oyeka also drop in to support the defense line.
All right, we are heading to the stadium right now in the first to see how situations will turn. Well, in the 21 fixtures played, 10 of those has been draws. Maybe that's what we might be seeing in this one, but they're all amped up for it. First 45 minutes, standing by Super Eagles of Nigeria versus the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia.
This is Afcon, my friend. Everything is the competition.
Afcon 2025. Catch every match in 6 languages with analysis by the continent's biggest stars. Live on Supersport, only on DSTV. This broadcast is proudly brought to you by 10.
What you made of? Let's fly.
Well, that's the holiday, isn't it?
Enjoy playing responsibly. 2014. I remember. Thank you. It meant so much to us. Oh, man. Our success and our passion. No problem. In the DSTV, just be challenging but a pivotal moment in South Africa. The universe answered our
When you fly Emirates, your holiday isn't over until your flight is over.
Hey baby, I missed you so much. What are you doing right now?
I'm in the car now with my family. We are going for lunch. I'll see you in the office on Monday. Yeah.
Sometimes you don't have a way out.
This Emeka is a very funny guy.
With SportyBet, you do. Because with our maximum cash out availability, there's always a way out. SportyBet. Winning is now that easy.
Afcon 2025, live on Supersport, only on DSTV.
10-Bet, official betting partner of Young Baba. Welcome to the first stadium in Morocco for a clash of former African champions and one of which should hopefully be mouth-watering. Nigeria, the 3-time winners against Tunisia, who lifted the trophy just the once than in 2004. Both sides having started
Welcome to the Fez Stadium
in
northern Morocco
Nigeria
for a clash of former
Tanzania
African champions, and one which should hopefully be mouth-watering. Nigeria, the three-time winners against Tunisia, who've lifted the trophy just the once back in 2004. Both sides having started their campaigns with victory. Nigeria seeing off Tanzania here in Fez. Tunisia beat Uganda by 3 goals to 1 in the Moroccan capital Rabat. Well, both Tanzania and Uganda have been in action today, playing in the day's first game in Group C. And that match ended in a 1-1 draw.
Ensure that they go through.
Uganda coming from behind to equalise Tanzania's goal just before the hour. And that means both those sides have their first points of the campaign. But victory here for either.
Here, we're known for our sense of service. It's all about finding ways to support you. Day after day, doing everything we can to be useful and providing energy in all its forms. Everywhere, every time, all across the continent.
Here, we're known for our sense of service. It's all about finding ways to support you. Day after day, doing everything we can to be useful and providing energy in all its forms. Everywhere, every time, all across the continent.
Maybe it all starts here to end up there. Sure, for us, it rather starts here and finishes over there. But it also goes through here, doesn't it? But whether it's here or there, behind the screen, in the stands, or on the pitch, Orange is here, proudly supporting African football for over 15 years.
Let's bet on Africa. One expert.
Maybe it all starts here to end up there. Sure, for us, it rather starts here and finishes over there. But it also goes through here, doesn't it? But whether it's here or there, behind your screen, in the stands, or on the pitch, Orange is here, proudly supporting African football for over 15 years.
These jerseys aren't 100% polyester. They are 30% lessons learned the hard way, 50% hope, turning threads into memories, 20% triumphs dreamed and prayed for. This is Africa, 100% made of us.
Nigeria.
So the players beginning to start to make their way out onto the pitch, just gathering in the tunnel. The familiar side to Victor Osimhen with the peroxide there.
Very recently after the retirement
Nigeria
of William Truce
in the black and the green flag tops.
Inspirational figure for the Super Eagles at the last Afcon.
And no doubt by Wilfred Ndidi.
Let's look at the Tunisian side.
The man who took over the captaincy very recently after the retirement of William Truce, who was such an inspirational figure for the Super Eagles at the last Afcon.
Hannibal Medjuri, Bajani Sassi.
The first look at the Tunisian side.
Skipper of Tunisia. Pretty relaxed looking, Victor Osimhen.
We are almost there.
Hannibal Medjuri. Ademola Lookman played a key role in the last game.
Hannibal Medjuri, Bajani Sassi, the skipper of Tunisia. And a pretty relaxed looking Victor Osimhen. And there's the familiar figure of Hannibal Medjuri. Ademola Lookman played a key role in the last game.
Focus, concentration. And a real sense of anticipation here in the Fez Stadium. Tunisia on the left of your screen and Nigeria on the right. come out to play both their
Focus, concentration, and a real sense of anticipation here in the first stadium. And that was Tunisia on the left of your screen and Nigeria on the right. Come out to play both their second games in Group C.
A fairly decent turnout for what we hope is going to be
referee just picking up the ball.
Of the group stages.
As the Confederation of African Football's anthem plays out.
Both sides having won their opening game.
To a stadium that can seat 45,000 and has probably just got around half that number tonight. A fairly decent turnout for what we hope is going to be one of the ties of the group stages and possibly the tournament itself. Both sides having won their opening game will be pretty certain of making it through to the knockout stages, whatever happens tonight. Especially with both Tanzania and Uganda drawing earlier today. The fact that neither of those sides was able to win a game makes things a little easier for both Tunisia and Nigeria. Well, I think we know who they are supporting. So the national anthems to get us underway, and we will start with that of Nigeria.
Focus on the faces of the players as the Cup of Nations trophy is lifted by that fan. Will it be lifted by Wilfred Ndidi at the end of the tournament? We'll find out shortly. First over Tunisian national anthem.
Focus on the faces of the players as the Cup of Nations trophy is lifted by that fan. Will it be lifted by Wilfred Ndidi at the end of the tournament? We'll find out shortly. First, though, the Tunisian national anthem.
As you can imagine, given the tournament is being played in North Africa, supporters are Nigerians. The national anthem. The final of the Nations Cup coming up on the 18th of January.
Well, as you can imagine, given this tournament is being played in North Africa, more Tunisian supporters than there are Nigerians warmly applauding the national anthem. The final of the Nations Cup coming up on the 18th of January will either Nigeria or Tunisia be there as we see the Nigeria lineup. Two changes to the side that beat Tanzania.
The Nigeria coach.
Match day one, coming into the side of left back, Bruno Onyemaechi, Zanaisi, Zaidu, and Samuel Chukwueze also dropping to the bench. Despite playing fairly well in that game against the Tanzanians, Frank Onyeka, the Brentford midfielder, comes into the side today as Eric Shell, the Nigeria coach, pays a little bit of respect to the Tunisians, effectively dropping a winger to bring in a defensive midfielder and bolster
there is Onyeka.
That midfield area.
And nice to see that. Sami
Against the Tunisian side who looked strong in that department in their opening game against Uganda. Hannibal Mejbri really caught the eye with his dynamism, drive and determination. There is Onyeka. And nice to see that. Sami Trabelsi on the left, Eric Shell on the right. Vajani Sassi, the skipper of Tunisia on the right, and Boubou Traoré, the man in the middle today from the West African nation of Mali.
For a photo to confirmation that Traoré will be officiating, assisted by Amalia and by Atogaliz as well. In the VAR room, Senegal's Issa C. Haven't used very repeatedly at the tournament so far.
So the toy cost decided.
Patrice Motsepe.
Time for a photo to and confirmation that Traoré will be officiating, assisted by Amalia and by Atogaliz as well. In the VAR room, Senegal's Issa C will be in control. VAR having already been used fairly repeatedly at this tournament so far. And on the second left of your screen, Patrice Motsepe, the president of the Confederation of African Football. Well, Tunisia make just the one change to the side that beat Uganda. Coming into the side in midfield, Mohamed Ali Ben Romdan, and dropping to the bench, Elias Saad, the only Tunisian player booked on the match day one. Was that a factor in the thinking? Mastouri will lead the line. Elias Ashuri wearing 7, scored a double against the Cranes of Uganda.
A big kick-off.
And will certainly be one to keep an eye on as well. There is Mastouri.
It is time for action as Tunisia, all in white, playing from right to left, kick us off against Nigeria.
Some last-minute prayers before the big kick-off.
Should be a fascinating game today. This is the 7th meeting.
It is time for action. There is Tunisia, all in white, playing from right to left. Kick us off against Nigeria in their familiar green.
2022 Africa Cup of Nations.
Left to right, and
should say the 2021 edition played in
should be a fascinating game today. This is the 7th meeting
Tunisia won that game by
between the sides and the tournament, and they tend to be pretty close. They've not met since the 2022 Africa Cup of Nations. And Tunisia, just say the 2021 edition, played in 2022 because of the coronavirus pandemic delaying everything. Tunisia won that game by a 1-0 in Northern Cameroon.
And that was Nigeria's worst finish at a Nations Cup.
Yusuf Sakni, legendary figure in Tunisian football, getting the winner. And that was after Nigeria had started the group campaign as the only side of the 2021 Afcon to win every single one of their group games, but it ended against Tunisia.
And
that was Nigeria's worst finish at a Nations Cup this century. And so they may well have a little bit of revenge on their mind as for the Nigerians. Well, their last victory came in the 3rd place playoff against Tunisia in 2019. And when you go to games before that, 2006, 2004, well, they were so tight as well. 1-1 it ended on both those occasions. Nigeria winning on penalties in 2006 and Tunisia winning via a shootout in 2004, the year they lifted the title on home soil, the only occasion they have. Sami Trabelsi, the man trying to ensure that he changes that. Tunisia in both 2012 and 2013 reaching the quarterfinals, but in 2013 making a group stage exit. He believes his side are good enough for at least a top 4 finish, but in his words, deep down, I believe we can go further. Well, they exited in the group stage last time around. Tunisia, Nigeria, by contrast, runners-up at the 2023 edition of the Nations Cup, played in Côte d'Ivoire and Ivory Coast last year. And many members of the side remain as on this right side, right, Osai Samuel against an early knock. And a little word with Tunisian left back Ali Abdi from the Malian official. And as you can see,
Calvin Bassey.
Flailing left arm catching. Or siding.
As Nigeria try and make
In the face.
early ground
Hard
into
feeling,
the
seemingly.
Tunisian defence. But it's already starting at quite a pace and the tackles are flying in. Now Danny Benron down, going down, full pace.
Calvin Bassey of Fulham looking forward. As Nigeria trying to make early ground into the Tunisian defence. Well, it's already starting at quite a pace and the tackles are flying in.
Now we got both those goals against Uganda.
Now Danny Benron down, going down at full pace. Just getting to his feet. The Egyptian giants of African football.
32 years of age, he turned last
Saturday. Just with a little touch. The man who got both those goals against Uganda, both of which were set up by this man, Ali Abdi. On this occasion, he cannot go past Osayi. Here's Abdi again. 32 years of age, he turned last Saturday. A real key performer, and this is an early chance for Hannibal Mejbri, and he just couldn't take it. He's looking down at the ground. The Burnley midfielder, as if to say, enabled him to slash at the shot rather than catch it fully.
The overall global rankings by football's world governing body.
Although they certainly committed Akol Adams.
It could well be a very, very tight affair.
Fall to the floor. Nigeria ranked 5th by FIFA in Africa. Tunisia 6th on the continent. 3 places separating them in the overall global rankings by football's world governing body. It could well be a very, very tight affair. Shemi Ajayi, who got the opening goal for Nigeria against Tanzania a few days ago, last Tuesday. His first ever for the Super Eagles in his 10th appearance. Osimhen, that right to Osayi, back into Osimhen. And with just minutes on the clock, he has his first sighter at goal. 7 shots against Tanzania. The most by a Nigerian in the Nations Cup in 15 years, Osimhen. Despite his spectacular feats in European football and phenomenal goal record with the Super Eagles, his record in this tournament really does need some work. Just 1 goal for 9 appearances for Victor Osimhen. And he's seen a lot of goals ruled out in the last tournament. 4 might make it. He had another one ruled out against Tanzania as well. Will his luck change tonight? The 26-year-old. Is he possibly too over-eager to score? We will see what happens in the 85 minutes or so that are coming our way. I'm down it.
Frank Cognac, who's come into the side today.
Looking forward to
the Bees midfielder looking instantly for Osimhen. Can I find it? Mejbri. Little Nick coming in from behind the side, saying he went down very easily.
Osayi looking to Frank Cognac, who's come into the side today. The Bees midfielder looking instantly for Osimhen. Cannot find it.
Just pick this up. Impressed with the Fulham man
Mejbri.
Tanzania.
Little Nick coming in from behind the side, saying he went down very easily.
Ever Nations Cup assists. His 19th appearance in the tournament. That's not for want of making chances.
Underway and swings it out. Wobie will just pick this up.
18.
Impressed. Did the Fulham man against Tanzania. Assisting both goals for Nigeria. Remarkably, his first ever Nations Cup assists. His 19th appearance in the tournament. And that's not for want of making chances, it's just they hadn't been taken before. 18. He created over the years. None of them have been converted.
9 minutes on the clock. Nigeria.
Here he is, Iwobi, 29 years of age now.
To a striker of Osimhen's caliber.
A handful of Fulham players in the squad alongside Bassi and Chukwueze. Adams, into the middle, it goes up, goes Osimhen! Over the bar! And those are the sort of chances he should be converting. 9 minutes on the clock. And Nigeria arguably should be in front, because that is meat and drink to a striker of Osimhen's caliber. Brilliant delivery into him by the Sevilla man. And he just couldn't get over it. And he gives the applause to Adams. And you can see exactly what Akol Adams made of that finish by Osimhen.
Bassi. Iwobi, who just glides across the pitch and pops up all over the place. Space down the left-hand side for Nigeria. Osimhen again in the middle. Over his head it goes up to Osayi. He tried to play it into Onyeka, it just didn't work out, but he gets it back. Osayi, striker goal.
Bassi.
Nigeria's first corner of the game.
Iwobi, who just glides across the pitch and pops up all over the place. Space down the left-hand side for Nigeria. Osimhen again in the middle. Over his head it goes up to Osayi. He tried to play it into Onyeka, it just didn't work out, but he gets it back. Osayi, striker goal, and that'll be Nigeria's first corner of the game. Good little spell of early pressure from the Super Eagles. Already frustration seemingly, resignation.
For Victor Osimhen. The referees trying to calm down and then pushing and shoving, particularly from corners. Plenty to aim at. And up goes Osimhen again. Over again. So
we'll take the delivery. We've seen this before this tournament, the referees trying to clamp down on any pushing and shoving, particularly from corners. Plenty to aim at. And up goes Osimhen again. And over again. So 2 headers over the bar from Osimhen. Just over 10 minutes. A far harder chance.
To Elias Skiri, who set Carthage Eagles. Here he is, on their way against Uganda. Scoring by this time. On the clock, 10 minutes in. And as he did so, he got Tunisia's 100th goal.
Slightly forward, and Mejbri will pick that up. It's Hassan Tawi. To Elias Skiri, set the Carthage Eagles. Here it is, on their way against Uganda. Scoring by this time. On the clock, 10 minutes in. And as he did so, he got Tunisia's 100th goal at the Nations Cup. The 6th team from Africa to ever do so, and just a day later, Nigeria followed suit. And 3-0 win over Sudan.
On the pitch for Nigeria. Lookman, who won it in 2024.
Defensive first approach on Dylan Braun, the Switzerland-based central defender who plays in the heart of that back line alongside Talbi.
That gives some indication of the pedigree that Tunisia are facing today. Onyeka with the delivery.
There are 2 recent African footballers of the year on the pitch for Nigeria. Lookman, who won it in 2024. Osimhen in 2023. Sharaf of Hakimi of Morocco, the reigning African footballer of the year. And that gives some indication of the pedigree that Tunisia are facing today. Onyeka with the delivery. Oh, there's a player down in the area.
Tunisian skipper.
Skiri it is.
The
referee having seen nothing untoward. Mejbri battling as is his want.
He's got a Roby to his right-hand side. Bit of space here for Roby. This is
Stanley Wabale.
area from which he delivered the cross.
The Nigeria goalkeeper looking long. So Lookman, not his forte in the air. Abdi, bit of space here for The Tunisian skipper, Fajani Sassi, but that's a heavy touch from Mejbri. Indeed, he picks it up. Lookman, he's got a Roby to his right-hand side. Bit of space in it for Roby. This is the sort of area from which he delivered the cross for Nigeria's opener against Tanzania, and then Lookman is penalised for the challenge on Abdi.
And incidentally, the only player on the pitch was booked on match day 1, and the booking for him today will rule him out of the third.
Clattered into him fairly innocuously from behind. Did Ademola Lookman.
You gather here in Affairs on Tuesday. Tunisia finishing their campaign against Tanzania in the Moroccan capital Rabat.
And incidentally, the only player on the pitch who was booked on match day 1, and another booking for him today will rule him out of the third group stage game when Nigeria take on Uganda here in Affairs on Tuesday.
Meet a second place team
Tunisia finishing their campaign against Tanzania in the Moroccan capital Rabat.
Theoretically, of course, an easier opponent.
Whoever does win Group C will stay in Fez. And there's every incentive for the teams to do so, because they won't meet a second place team from the group stage, but one of the third best sides in the tournament.
Real feature of this tournament.
Theoretically, of course, an easier opponent.
The driving rain.
Ajayi looking to turn provider. Osimhen not too happy with it as the rain begins to fall. It's been a real feature of this tournament. Ever-changeable weather and the driving rain.
Passing forward. Afcon. He's already put in one. Brilliant cross, and it goes again. Header away. Roby picks this up. He's got a side to his right-hand side. Afcon again. Plays it into Afcon. Into Onyeka. Onyeka across the face of goal. Cleared away by Tunisia.
Bouncing forward.
He's more defensively minded than attacking.
He's already put in one. Brilliant cross, and it goes again. Important header away. Roby picks this up. He's got a side to his right-hand side. Afcon again. And he plays it into Afcon. Into Onyeka. Onyeka across the face of goal. Cleared away by Tunisia.
Really smart defending.
Well, he's more defensively minded than attacking. Here's Onyeka. And that was a ball into the Tunisian 6-yard box that asked a lot of questions.
Already.
I'm sure he wins the goal kick. Tunisia. The pressure just eases. Look at this from Onyeka. Really, really smart defending.
Most dangerous sort of present for the Super Eagles, but lots of creativity in the side with the likes of.
And it had to be at the back from Jan Valery.
Here he is again.
Already. Driving forward, the 25-year-old based in Spain with the side to video.
Once again,
he's looking at the most dangerous sort of present for the Super Eagles, but lots of creativity in the side with the likes of Roby, Lookman. Here he is again, Afcon, driving forward, striker goal, spilled, and in it goes from Osimhen, but the flag is up once again. Well, he cannot buy a goal at the Nations Cup. Can Victor Osimhen? And this is almost verging on the ridiculous. It's his 5th disallowed goal of the tournament. And we will have to see. And I'm sure if this gets reviewed, here's the strike. Well, it's a pretty clear one.
Every time it's gone against him.
And he just went too early again.
Drama in the semi-finals.
He scored
competition,
made it 2-0 to
Nigeria in the
against Equatorial Guinea. In the first match of the tournament last time around, and ever since he's had the ball in the net on 5 separate occasions, and every time it's gone against him. And then there was that high drama in the semi-finals of the last competition when he thought he had made it 2-0 to Nigeria in the semi-finals, only for his goal not just to be disallowed, but then pulled all the way back for a penalty to South Africa, which was converted, which took the game into extra time. Nigeria eventually making it through on penalties. One day it will come his way, and when it does, I'm sure he's going to look hugely relieved. That's it. And here comes again to Osimhen. That's a heavy touch from him. Lookman pushing, shoving, fighting. Sassi just calmly plays it into Valerie that Sheffield Wednesday play out, and he looks up forward to Hazem Masturi, who's seen very, very little of the ball. He's opening 20 minutes, just under. Offside.
That's a good ball in.
Jai, 3 of the back 4 for Nigeria playing their football in England, the side with Birmingham in the second tier. Jai also in the English Championship with Hull. Bassi, that's it with here is offside. Jai, that's a good ball in. And it needs a good header as well, and he got it from Braun. That's not the sort of cross you expect from a centre-back. Excellent pace. No one allowed it. It was near perfect for Osimhen, but for the intervention of Dylan Braun, the 30-year-old. There is it, Darwin. Based in Tunisia with CS Faction. Only member of the side on the pitch who plays this football in the Tunisian league. Making just his second appearance in the competition today, the Tunisian goalkeeper. And what is his third Nations Cup, unused at both the 2023 and 2021 editions. Good time for that, as it were. Just from being selected point of view when keeping goal at the 2022 World Cup. Determined, conceding just once and playing in the famous Tunisian victory over France. He kept a clean sheet as well against the likes of Kylian Mbappe. Tunisia, of course, through to the next World Cup. And they will meet the likes of Japan, the Netherlands, and a team from Europe has yet to be determined, with Ukraine, Sweden, Poland, Albania, Nigeria smarting from their failure to do so. Beaten on penalties in the first ever African World Cup playoff last month by the Democratic Republic of Congo. And that's missing the tournament for the second time in a row, the first time that's ever happened since their maiden qualification in the 1994 World Cup, when Nigeria were hugely impressive and beaten by the Italian side, who had to fight really hard to overcome the then African champions. Wilfred Ndidi has made clear they are desperate to return to this competition. Driving them forward as Trabelsi tries to organise his charges. Lookman standing over it. So to Onyemaechi. The left back with Olympiakos, who's coming to the side today for Zanussi. Well, the whistle's coming from the Tunisian fans, as you might expect. Onyemaechi, who delivers this in. But he's not got enough height on that, and that's cleared away by Duran. Just as Nigeria thought they might have an inch of space in the area. The whistle goes. Fairly clattered into from behind. He doesn't always start for Nigeria. He has been involved in 6 of the last 7 games before the Tanzania game. He's come into the side today for Sanusi. I wonder if that was because Sanusi lost his man for Tanzania's equalising goal on Tuesday. So that's tough luck from Eric Shell, in charge with Nigeria. Very ruthless as well. Is it what the Super Eagles need as Tunisia come forward? Mesri just trying to play it into a Shuri. Tunisia really yet to get going. In the final third. They've just been a little bit of pressure from Nigeria on Yeka. The man down. Committed as ever, the Brentford man. In theory, keep things tight along Ndidi and give him the platform for the likes of Lukman. Johnny looking on. As far as a player in white, Ndidi based in Turkey with Besiktas, and Osimhen is caught, and the whistle blows, and that'll be a free kick Nigeria's way. And he's making the point that that's twice now by Montasa Talbi. And the referee also having a little word with the man based in France with Lorient. We played 3 minutes of the last Nations Cup campaign for Tunisia, their 27-year-old. Some apologies are going to cut it with Osimhen. But it is still largely one-way traffic in this opening period. Is Lukman now given the responsibilities? That's not for the height on the Dida.
Eric Shell took
And you're matching it to a side, he's on full back to another. Bit of space for Onyeka, but just plays it back to the more creative man, who tries to play around the corner. Nigeria have the Ferrari.
Regulation 90.
There's Eric Shell took Mali, who was an international to the quarterfinals of the last tournament. And they were knocked out in sensational style by the hosts, Cote d'Ivoire or Ivory Coast. Equaliser in the dying minutes of the regulation 90, and then who won it in the dying seconds of extra time from heartbreak for Mali. Extraordinary game in Bouake. That one was just a foul throw. There's not been good. Onyeka into the middle, wins the corner. You surely can't just throw it. Well, Mesri is making that exact point. You cannot throw the ball just down onto the floor like that from the throw. And it's illegal, and I'm absolutely with it. I wouldn't quite lose my cool quite as much with him, but look at this. That goes against all the rules of how you take throw-ins, but nonetheless, it didn't go Tunisia's way, and Nigeria have the corner. Lukman with the outswinger. Free heads. And it was headed on towards Bassi. Just a little bit behind him, and Iwobi picks it up. Bassi comes back to take control and usher Nigeria forward. Asai into Ndidi. Let's go back to him. Bassi. And his regular teammate, Iwobi. Space for Asai here. Too many options in front of him. Plays it into Apple. score again. He was in a tight space. Nigeria still have it.
Very cautiously.
Here again. And then safety first from Bruno. Actually.
Sometimes they've all given a tactical discipline. Defensive solidity. Certainly seemed a little bit of tactical discipline in the early stages here, but they are on the back foot.
Tunisia are starting this game very, very cautiously. But they'll see his side, the Italians of Africa. So that's how Tunisia is sometimes labelled, given their tactical discipline and defensive solidity, and I'm certainly seeing a little bit of tactical discipline in the early stages here, but they are on the back foot. And they're matching, showing good strength, space here to deliver the cross. And searching up goes Ozyman. The ball sails over his head.
The South African in the centre of your screen.
There's a deep ball in. He's got contact on it. He's just not going his way, holding his mask. He's down on the floor as well as
this time at the tournament.
Choose what separate the South African in the centre of your screen. In charge of CAF for the last 4 years, and
he's just walking
he's
off.
Not happy.
He's worried for Nigeria fans.
Might be up with him.
He was 27 on Monday, the Galatasaray man. 6 goals in.
Not had the best time at the tournament. And
Super League this season.
as said, he's just walking off. That'll be a worry for Nigeria fans.
He has got his third
I think he's
tournament.
going to be okay to come back on.
He missed the
There's 27 on Monday. There was the Galatasaray man. 6 goals in 12 games in the Turkish Super League this season.
Surely for the tournament, which is why he wears the
31
mask. Taking place
goals in 47 Nigeria games. So that's just the one. He has got this is third tournament, and it would have been more, but he missed the 2021 edition, not just because of COVID, but also the facial fracture which he suffered shortly before the tournament, which is why he wears the mask. Titanium plates fixed with his cheekbone and eye socket. That is why he wears what he does. Tunisia with their first attack, and the Jai turns it behind for a corner. Well, finally we see the North Africans come forward, and you can hear the cheers as well inside the Fez Stadium from the North African supporters, who have had very, very little to cheer so far. Tunisian flags being waved all around me. I really want to see more. The story with the death flick, and the Jai had to be alert, and Bassi had to make sure that he didn't get anything on it, and either turn it behind or now a Tunisian to pounce. Mejbri, they scored from this side of the corner against Uganda. And that's a striker goal coming in from Abdi. He did it well enough. A fairly extraordinary record, Ali Abdi. He top scored in qualifying despite being left back. Admittedly with just 2 goals, but that tells you how hard Tunisia at times found goals to score. They did spread them around. He also top scored at the Club World Cup a couple of years ago. The left back for Tunisia.
One touch too many. It was there to be hit.
He doesn't just score goals, he assists them as well. And I said earlier, he made both goals for Shuri. And Tuesday night against Uganda. We're on. Looking forward, and Tunisia are in. Now can they strike? No, they can't. Mastori, he just wanted one touch too many. It was there to be hit by the Tunisian number 9, and he raises his hands to acknowledge that, perhaps. Scored against Brazil in a friendly last month. What a moment that was for the Makash man. And this is his first Africa Cup of Nations. And he just needed surely to pull the trigger. 4 goals in 12 caps for the main Tunisian striker. He's going to be only really supported by Shuri, given the fact that Elias Saad, the winger, was sacrificed as already. When Romdan came into the side, he placed deeper than the Amali man. Both coaches bolstering their midfield area in deference to their opponents today.
That's a make save. That's the German too, but there have been opportunities. There's 10 minutes.
Well, we're just over 10 minutes to go to half time. Here we go, because Stanley Bali is yet to make a save. And effectively Darman too, but there have been opportunities.
Sure, he gets it away.
Osimhen's within the first 10 minutes, by far and away the most glaring.
Against Tanzania on match day 1.
Nyeka with the throw again. Looking for the flick on. Bassi looking to get on the end of it. Sure, he gets it away. Osai. Headed into Lukman. They've been pretty quiet, the Atalanta man. Scored a fantastic goal against Uganda not Uganda, against Tanzania on match day 1. Really clean strike from outside the area. From Lukman. As indeed he plays this in. Here he is, Bassi. Ndidi with the strike. Well, he doesn't get many, Wilfred Ndidi. He's never scored for his nation. He's done at club level, of course. He tries his luck from distance. I'm not sure that's what Eric Sherrill wants to see. Always rising from the 29-year-old. Moved to Turkey in August after nearly a decade in England with Leicester City. Took over the captaincy after William Troost-Ekong, who was player of the tournament at the last Nations Cup, announced his retirement shortly before the tournament. Ali Abdi searching ball in. Oh, and a really good little ball back in by Mastouri, unselfishly so. Could have had the strike, looking for a Shuri. Tunisia just beginning to show us what they're about. Excellent ball from Abdi. And you could see what Mastouri was trying to do. Important intervention at the back from Nigeria. Doing exactly the sort of thing he was brought in to do. For Nigeria today, the man who turns 28 on New Year's Day. Frank Onyeka, a key man last time around for Nigeria in the competition, started all the games. He's got an excellent engine and will run all day, the Brentford man. Nesri with the corner. Osimhen with the header away. Valerie taking no chances as he plays it all the way back.
40 caps for his nation. He was fantastic.
Little flick, Mejbri in behind, Ashuri in the middle, and Dini with the defensive intervention.
Teenager years.
He's just 22 years of age, Mejbri. He's got 40 caps for his nation. He was fantastic the other night. The Granny man. France youth in his teenager years. He came through the prestigious Clairefontaine Academy as well, and he really drove Tunisia on the other night, and we've yet to see that from him tonight.
What he wants is
Tunisia sometimes lack a little bit of bite. Regular qualifiers for the Nations Cup. Trying to make a point to the referee. Hoping for more.
The signal for the players, they go short. Assuring to Abdi.
He's yet to get what he wants, so as Ruben Traore just tries to calm things down inside that 6-yard box. Two hands up this occasion from Mejbri. Different signal for the players, they go short. Ashuri into Abdi. Into Ashuri. Ashuri goes down. Osimhen out to Akor. They can break in Nigeria if they can get it right, but there are two Tunisians around Akor. And he was just running down the blind alley. And Mejbri warmly applauding Jan Valery, who came over to cover at left back from right back effectively.
Beason has said by the Congolese the last month of the game.
And here's Akor again, Ndidi. It's going to be a decision, and it's going Tunisia as well, to the dismay of Eric Schell. That's a charge in January, the 48-year-old. Beason has said by the Congolese the last month, although the game ended all square, of course, prior to going to penalties. He's actually only lost his 30 games before tonight against Egypt in a match played 11 days ago as a Nations Cup warm-up. Game in Cairo. Not too serious, but he's the man tasked with rebuilding a Nigeria side that's had its issues in recent times. Bruno actually down on the floor. You may have heard the shout. The spirit trying to fight for the player. It wasn't scary, it was Ben Romdown. He just caught the Nigerian left back. Shake of the head from Ben Romdown. Despite being a midfielder, he top scored for Tunisia in World Cup qualifying where they absolutely blitzed it. Tunisia played 10, won 9, drew 1, 4-22 against none. That sort of record, they should be doing some damage at this competition. Lookman on the edge of the D trying to do that himself. And there were 3 Tunisian players who came in around him and closed down the space. But I think Shell would like the direct approach from Nigeria there. And we'll ball into Lookman in the D.
It might be tight and tense this game.
Very direct, effectively. Shove on Bruno on him, actually, and a free kick goes Nigeria's way.
Have to go back to 2000 for the last game that had more than 2 goals in Nigeria.
Thought it might be tight and tense this game, and it is proving to be. It's just 1 goal settling each of the last 2 Nations Cup encounters between these sides. You have to go back to 2000 for the last game that had more than 2 goals when Nigeria won 4-2 on home soil in Lagos as they co-hosted the tournament that year with Ghana. Chelsea, the Tunisia coach, played in that game. 2 fond memories of it. And that's a nice ball forward from Mejbri, looking to play it into Ashuri. Bassi cuts it out and shows good strength and desire as well. The Nigerian then gets clipped. That's really good defending from Calvin Bassi.
Next week when he turns 26.
Just used his physicality really well ensured, but Ashuri wasn't getting it on it. Then had to ride the little bump from Ben Romdown too, in fact.
Sassy.
One of Nigeria's best performers on match day 1, Calvin Bassi, who will be celebrating a birthday next week when he turns 26. It'll be on New Year's Eve. Valery forward into Mejbri. Skiri, Sassy, Abdi. Back into Sassy.
sound of the trumpets which accompany every Nigerian
Mallory,
day.
he's got room to deliver the cross if he wants to. He's trying to tiptoe his way forward, and he just took it a little bit too far, Jan Valerie. Instead of space to deliver the cross, he chose not to.
Little to blow their trumpets about.
The familiar sound of the trumpets which accompany every Nigeria game. Super Eagles signature from their fans. So far over. Little to blow their trumpets about. Lookman looking for Osimhen over and into the back of the net, and finally Osimhen finds a goal at the African Cup of Nations. The mask comes off, delight on his face. Look what it means. And the key men for Nigeria combined. The two former African footballers of the year, an emotion just coming out of Victor Osimhen. And with seconds left in this opening period, the main man, the Super Eagles hitman, has broken the deadlock. Oh, he is pumped up, and you can see it on his face. Finally, the drought is over.
Over the crossbar with his head, and that was a far harder chance than the first one.
And he is getting the acclaim from Lookman as well.
Excellent header.
Well, it was a measured cross, and he just got away from Talby in the middle. He's put two already over the crossbar with his head, and that was a far harder chance than the first one. Leaning back, had to get over it, and did. Excellent header. From the former Napoli man, and finally, he has something that he can build on. Nigeria lead as we tick into stoppage time. There'll be 2 minutes of additional time. What a moment to score.
Going to see him come alive.
And that will change everything in the Nigerian dressing room, and certainly in the mind of Victor Osimhen.
Penalties for his side, making assists and just running the channels.
Scudetto with the Napoli. A sharp shooter of note. Is this the tournament where we're finally going to see him come alive? It's not to say, by the way, that he didn't do his bit when Nigeria got to the final last time around. He worked tirelessly, did Osimhen. Winning penalties for his side, making assists, and just running the channels. He gives everything for the Nigeria cause, and finally he has his reward.
Onyeka looking for Osimhen again, but that's over.
Indeed, out to Osai. Osai towards the byline, taking on Abdi. The two number twos against one another. Osai back into Onyeka. Onyeka looking for Osimhen again, but that's over.
Take that time, well, why not?
Osimhen. Onyemachi into the middle. Dron.
Just up
towards the halfway line.
Closing down. The seconds remain this first half.
They will take their time, but why not?
It really has all been about Victor Osimhen.
Now Valley just inviting the Tunisians forward to close him down. Well, they're just seconds remain of this first half.
Here it is, this moment.
Lookman now
Buried the header.
scored one, made one in his 2 games, and there goes the half-time whistle. And it really has all been about Victor Osimhen. Missed a glorious chance put on a plate for him by Akko Adams after 9 minutes. And then here it is, this moment, into the box, buried the header. Dama getting a hand to it, unable to keep it out. Tunisia, well, they came forward in fits and bursts, particularly late in the half, but never built anything sustainable. Yellow seems to have gone the way. I think of sounding Wabali will check that.
Here,
Either way,
we're
at
known
the
for
break
our
here and
sense of
says,
service.
it
It's
is
all about
Nigeria
finding
1,
ways
Tunisia
to support you.
0.
Day after day, doing everything we can to be useful and providing energy in all its forms. Everywhere, every time, all across the continent.
Here, we're known for our sense of service. It's all about finding ways to support you. Day after day, doing everything we can to be useful and providing energy in all its forms. Everywhere, every time, all across the continent.
Power your moment. Techno, the global partner of Afcon 2025.
In the heart of every champion lies a journey, one of resilience, passion, and dedication. It's a journey that starts as a dream and is fueled by ambition. A journey made of the relentless pursuit of greatness. And greatness isn't given, it's earned. With every challenge, goal, and celebration, it's a journey that inspires generations. And one that proves that we are made of more. 10Bet, official betting partner of Bafana Bafana.
As long as I have
Holiday isn't over until your flight is over.
Thank you.
When you fly Emirates, your holiday isn't over until your flight is over.
Did you know that some food is really good for you? That only usually has 11 vitamins and zinc and antioxidants.
The family meets at Afcon. Catch every match in 6 languages with analysis by the continent's biggest stars. Live on Supersport, only on DSTV.
Mom, did you know that some food is really good for you? That only Nutriday has 11 vitamins and zinc and cultures. Exactly. So they like superheroes for our tummy. So putting good gut bacteria. Instead I should have 2 a day. I'll have another one too.
Only Nutriday is this deliciously good for the whole family. Nutriday, proud sponsor of the Africa Cup of Nations 2025. Now in a new look.
I'll make a drink for you.
How long have you been doing this now?
15 years now.
15 years. Think we can do it again. One more time.
I'll make a drink for you.
all the energy of African football with total.
He's been pushing
Tembe, official betting partner of Afcon.
Victor Osimhen attempted 7 shots. A record against Algeria in 2010, and look at how the Super Eagles have. And the Super Eagles draw first blood. He's been pushing fervently, and you have to say, in the win against Tanzania, Victor Osimhen attempted 7 shots, the highest tally for a Nigerian footballer, and I guess he was more or less equaling Victor Osimhen's record against Algeria in 2010. And look at how the Super Eagles have dominated, absolutely dominated this first 45 minutes. It's only fitting, Sean, that they are in the league.
Yeah, I think they spent probably 75% of the time in the half of Tunisia and created opportunities after opportunities. And like you've indicated, that man Osimhen was on the end of most of them. You even asked for my services for his heading ability, but eventually it came good, And I think they needed that goal, honestly. They needed that because otherwise you can't dominate so much and not have anything to show for it.
There's been quite a number of those crosses that has come in. And one of those there, he just couldn't redirect that Bongani to get that first goal.
No, he couldn't. But I mean, it's a nice little run down the channel, and Afcon does well to first time ball in. And Victor Osimhen is so consistent with this. Most strikers try and get in front of you as a centre back, but he's always at the back of the centre back, in between the centre back and the full back. So in between Talbi and Abdi, or Brom and Valerie, he's so consistent with that movement, and that's how he gets his goal.
Well, Dan, we saw the first game against Tanzania. It was a header from Semi Ajayi that opened the scoring. Now another header again. Definitely Nigeria carries the threat aerially, and I guess they just need to take advantage of that.
Yeah, like you said, it's just for us to take advantage of it, because you can tell that the Super Eagles, they know that they have the strength, the height up forward, so and identifying the weakness of the Tunisian, not to be able to win duel of the helps them to always put the ball across into the box, and which Osimhen, most of the ball has come on top of his head. Fortunately, he has been able to get one. We hope more will come.
This was a great header there. We were talking about the heading again, and I guess this more or less, takes the pressure off him, having scored his first Afcon goal here.
And it's exactly like Bongani explained. He's in front of the central defender, but it peels away in between the fullback and the defender. So he actually creates that space for himself. And this time around, like I said, he actually runs onto the ball. He's not in that space already, so he could redirect and just the power of the cross. All he has to do is put his head on the end of the cross, and perfectly timed run.
And got a yellow card after that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a bit of emotion attached to it, but
I wouldn't say a lot of emotion.
As it should be, because it's high stakes type of games, and it's important. He's a big player, big name. You need that reaction. You need to have that. That's part of your makeup. Now the question is just to manage it. Now that
Another 45 minutes. It begs the question: what exactly is going on with this Tunisian side? I mean, this is not the Tunisia we saw in the first game.
I think they were very cautious in that first 45. They're going to have to change their mentality if they want to have anything out of this game, because that is not a way you're going to get behind Nigeria. I think there were 1 or 2 opportunities, but other than that, they need to improve.
All right, another 45 minutes for the Super Eagles to defend this one goal or get more of it, no doubt. Going into Afcon, that they've been the better side on the head-to-head situation. Let's see what to expect. Second 45 minutes up first.
Finding ways to support you. And providing energy.
Tenbet, official betting partner of Afcon.
Here, we're known for our sense of service. It's all about finding ways to support you. Day after day, doing everything we can to be useful and providing energy in all its forms. Everywhere, every time, all across the continent.
Scan here. When the family meets, every occasion is a meal. That's why we're giving you the family meal. Every Afcon moment is now a reaction that settles the score in every family group. Get all the Afcon memes in one place. Scan here.
Turn on your summer success with the right partner, Telkom Business. Keep your team on track with super fast, reliable fiber. Business communications streamlined with Cloud PABX. Fast, reliable connection for your business. Always on with unlimited LTE. Visit telkom.co.za/business or go to any Telkom store. Telkom Business. Possible begins here.
Let's back out here in Dakar 2026.
They're coming. Come on! They're coming. Come on! Come on! Yes!
We've got plenty of goals to celebrate. They're back. Because it's
Let's back out here in Dakar 2026.
Reckon we could have scored a left there.
This festive season, bring everyone together for the world's best football on DSTV. We've got plenty of goals to celebrate, so stay with us because it's definitely on. Be part of every game, every role, right here on SuperSport. Too much football? No. On the world's best football package, DSTV Compact. It's on.
This Emeka is a very funny guy. With SportyBet, you do.
Hey, baby.
With our maximum
I
cash
missed
out
you so much.
there's always
What are you doing right now?
Emeka, I'm in the car now with my family. We are going for lunch. Hey, I'll see you in the office on Monday. Yeah.
Sometimes you don't have a way out.
This Emeka is a very funny guy.
With SportyBet, you do. Because with our maximum cash out availability, there's always a way out. SportyBet, winning is now that easy.
With the game still deadlocked, it's time for something new.
Let's light it up.
Blue stones flow between continents.
Rooted in culture, driven by connection. These stories flow between continents, leading a new generation of talent and opportunity. Africa and Europe, together we rise.
The team's back out on the pitch in Nigeria just as they ended the first half. In a huddle. Talking to one another as they came out of the tunnel. And through the tunnel. First 15, keep it smart. Just been running cries from some of the players.
The team's back out on the pitch in Nigeria just as they ended the first half. Leaving the pitch in a huddle. Just hear them talking to one another as they came out of the tunnel.
Tunisia
came through the tunnel. First 15, keep it smart. Was the rallying cries of some of the players.
Chances. I don't know if Littman gets us underway.
I'm sure will be fairly happy with what he saw. Tunisia to Ali Abdi strike from distance. And saw his side. A couple of chances. I don't know if Littman gets us underway. in the second period. As you missed the first half, Victor Osman finding the goal for Nigeria just a minute before the break when converting across from Ademola Lookman. But just his second goal in the Nations Cup. In his 10th appearance. That is a record that marksman of his calibre will be keen to keep improving.
With the cross at times. See the free kick.
The question is, what do Tunisia have in response? Very lackluster at times. With the cross at times. As they see the free kick. Saidi. To play a foul.
So on the attack. Down to Ndidi. Back to Osimhen, and then 1-2 between those two. And the goal, of course. That's a good ball in.
Ndidi. Into Onyeka. Back into Ndidi.
To cycle it back.
Iwobi nicely forward to Lookman, back it to Osimhen, a little 1-2 between those two. Combining for the goal, of course. Bruno Onyemachi, that's a good ball in. Just needed the cut back and it was completely missed. Onyeka already just needed to side foot it back square. Could have caused a lot of problems. Unable to get the contact he'd have wanted.
He was in the flanks at times.
Jai caught from behind by Mejbri.
When he is more central, here he is, Mejbri. To assure
Onyemachi.
He's going to need something. Valerie into the middle
To
of the
Iwobi.
He managed to dissect the four players and right in the area.
And he was on the flanks at times, rather than through the middle. For Tunisia in that first half. And I think he can do more when he is more central. Here he is, Mejbri. To Ashuri. Tunisia needs something. Valerie into the middle it goes. And he managed to dissect the four players in white in the area. He would have been offside in any case, I think, because the flag's up on this near side.
So much how it goes through
Iwobi into Ajayi. Iwobi again. So much play goes through the Nigerian midfielder, Onyeka. Onyemachi wins the corner for the Super Eagles. And they're coming forward with relative ease.
He's already created one.
And Tunisia are struggling to contain them as Onyeka gets a little bit of congratulations from Iwobi.
So again, in swinger, and then to Ndidi, and he does exactly that. Because the Super Eagles are flying high. 2 goals to the good against the Carthage Eagles.
And he's already created one. Ademola Lookman. Can he do so again? In swinger, and then to Ndidi, and he does exactly that. Because the Super Eagles are flying high. They are 2 goals to the good against the Carthage Eagles, who they are shooting down. And Wilfred Ndidi, who has recently assumed the captaincy, has now scored his first ever goal for his national team. He has over 70 caps for Nigeria. He has put daylight between his side and Tunisia. And that goal will be hugely welcomed in the Nigerian squad amongst all his teammates, as I think you can see. And he rose incredibly well. Textbook header, getting above it, heading it down.
For the knockout phase.
Almost bounced as the line as it beat Damen once again.
Maintaining his composure as he just walks around.
2 goals from headers for Nigeria. And they are in dreamland, and they are looking like they are going to be qualified for the knockout phase. Sammy Travelsi just looks on in wonder. Eric Sell must be absolutely delighted. He is maintaining his composure as he just walks around his dugout. Is there a danger that this game is going to start to run away from Tunisia? There's free flowing stuff from the Super Eagles.
Against Uganda, something of a full score. They scored more goals in that game against the Cranes than they did in the last Nations Cup.
Tunisia need to respond. The sort of display we've seen from them many times before was opening win against Uganda. Something of a full storm. They scored more goals in that game against the Cranes than they did in the last Nations Cup. It's their first win since beating Nigeria back in 2021 edition. They need a response because they are being outplayed. To the dismay of their hordes of supporters inside the ground. Bassi with the header away.
Just loses his footing and loses the ball as well.
Onyemachi, Akor, and Didi. Lookman.
They reached the semi-finals just once.
He went into Osai. There's no one in front of him, so he's going to have to go back and does so into a Iwobi.
2019 when they finished fourth.
Iwobi just loses his footing and loses the ball as well. And surely next to go down, free kick Tunisia's way. Well, they reached the semi-finals just once since lifting the trophy in 2004, Tunisia.
So good.
That was in 2019 when they finished fourth, beaten in the third place playoff by Nigeria.
They're finding life a lot harder. Mechbury, he's the man who's bound to need some sort of a comeback.
And as I said earlier, the World Cup displays qualification was so good. Capturing teams left, right and centre, but they've met a solid opponent in the shape of Nigeria. They're finding life a lot harder. Mechbury, he's the man who's back to lead some sort of a comeback. Instead he runs into a green wall.
To save it.
Wilfred Ndidi. His defensive work on top of his very rare
Nigeria might get another hit. Lookman into Oldham, back into Lookman. Unselfish.
Moment to save it.
He knows the quality.
And the Nigeria captain, he made his debut way back in 2015.
To prevent Abdi from making ground on the left-hand side.
He's had to wait until now. And Nigeria might get another hit. Lookman into Osimhen, back into Lookman. Unselfish from Osimhen. You don't expect that from a striker. But he knows the quality that Lookman has, perhaps, and that's why he teed him up. Osai trying to prevent Abdi from making ground on the left-hand side.
Benjamin Frederick.
Will be a goal kick Nigeria's way.
Nigeria on the books of Brentford in the Premier League.
Between the two fullbacks.
Rave reviews.
Ojai coming over to help Osai. Osai, who's really in the side because of the injury to Benjamin Frederick, a youngster coming through with Nigeria on the books of Brentford in the English Premier League, and came into the side and rave reviews. His performances in the World Cup qualifiers in September, October and November, but then suffered injury at the end of last month. And to the dismay of many in the Nigerian persuasion, of Calvin Bassi saying, I wanted everybody to see his quality. Mechbury caught, and they could have played advantage, but they didn't, because Ben Rondan was in. Well, he didn't hear the whistle, went on, felled by Wabali. Yellow card's going to be issued here. Well, the Tunisian players are pointing out exactly that to the Malian official, that he could have played the advantage, that he blew the whistle, and yes, 1-1 down, was fouled, but the whistle had gone before. They can complain all they like. Ajayi into the room. The second Nigerian player to do so. I think Wabali was the first one. At the end of the first half, shortly after Nigeria scored, which was a strange time to get booked, but Wabali, his temperament has been questioned by the Nigerian fans for some odd behaviour in recent games. Match be down. But you can see the referee put his whistle to his lips there, and then, well, quite a period of time before anyone down was caught by Wabali. Very keen challenge from Ajayi.
They must know the Tunisian players who wants to whistle as well. That's it.
Then Ramadan making the most of it, whistles once again from the Tunisian supporters, and emotions beginning to flare.
Referee still on the floor.
They must know, the Tunisian players, that once the whistle is gone, that's it.
Putting the boots on opponents himself.
Unless they are trying to labour the point.
Labouring the point.
The referee still on the floor.
Stretcher bearers have come on.
The stranger to putting the boot on opponents himself. He's the man to suffer a challenge. Well, Ben Roltan is labouring the points, but he has of course been caught by Wabali. Let's hope it's not too serious. The stretcher bearers have come on.
Something of a tense finish. The change here as well. Sebastian Ginetti.
The referee still complaining, out of vision on your screen. Well, what this is all going to do is add to the additional time, and Tunisia can get their goal back. Made something of a tense finish. Making a change here as well. Sebastian Ginetti, the winger, will be coming on. They need to do more in the final third, and they have three forwards against Uganda on match day one, and just playing with two has really not helped them today. And you can see instantly the Tunisian player is going to complain to the referee that he put his whistle to his lips far too early. I understand why as well, of course. However, as soon as he did, that was that.
That's why his temperament has been questioned.
The footballers have a habit these days of staying down on the ground to try and draw attention of the VAR officials, give them time to have a look at incidents on their screen. Apparently just crazy from the Nigerian goalkeeper. That's why his temperament has been questioned. A perfect example of it, but he has got away with it. Bulu Traore just needs to get a grip back on this game. Free kick Tunisia's way, despite all their talk and their chat. It's always going to be thus. Tunisia's just going to have to wait a little longer to get on.
Quite shown from the Tunisians about that decision. They've really looked their display so far. Then one down is coming off the pitch.
And this game might settle down again.
Still he waits.
A fight shown from the Tunisians about that decision, then really in their display so far. Ben Romdan is hobbling off the pitch and going towards the dugout, and he surely is going to be the player replaced by Ginetti. Still he waits. Tunisia playing with 10 at present. Iwobi. Bassi forward to Littman in a pocket of space. He couldn't find it into Onyeka. Onyemachi. Iwobi to Ajayi. Saidi. Swinging again from Ajayi, that's deep. Lookman looking to play it into the middle. Chance here for Nigeria to make it 3. And it turns behind for the corner. Corner player with the strike. He wants more than that. In the meantime, Tunisia, 23-year-old with Celtic in Scotland, is on. Just how high up the pitch will he play? Will it be a 3 from Tunisia in the half hour that remains? They do, of course, have the final group game to make it through. Tunisia, as said earlier, against Tanzania in 3 days' time. They would like to get something out of this game, and it's a good test for them. Something of a free hit, given they started with the 3 points. Darman with the punch away.
Better from Darman.
The Tunisian player down in the area. And the Carthage Eagles have the free kick. Abdi it is. Captain the side in the past, Abdi. Better from Darman.
1994 on Tunisian soil.
The head of African football watches on. 2 traditional giants of the continent. Tunisia said champions in 2004. Nigeria in 1980. In 1994 on Tunisian soil. And then most recently in 2013. And Sunday Umbar, Tunisia's football in the Nigerian League, scored the winning goal in the final. And then surprise finalists, Burkina Faso. They were edged out. The Ivorian Elephants last time around. Sebastian Allez, late winner, denying them the trophy. Out World Cup qualification in a day in public. Over 200 million Nigerians. Many of them football coaches in their minds. It is not an easy place to go about business. The players trying to say we're under no pressure before this tournament. I'm not sure that's exactly the case. They are always under pressure. Trying to make it 3, Lookman with the delivery. And the story with the header. Darman tries to set his outfield players on their way. Medjbury. And that's nicely played. I think that's the advantage instantly you can see on having a wing on either side of Mascuri. Back into Medjbury. Skiri. Sassi. Valerie in a little bit of space here. Sassi again.
It's a dangerous 2-minute.
Taking their time to deliver it. Sassi. Made the room for the cross. And Bassi in the way, as he so often is.
Good defending from the side. Stuck to his task.
Valerie. It's a dangerous ball into the middle, cleared away by Osaidi. Abdi now. Tinekti has just come on. 3 Tunisian players in the middle. And that's good defending for Osaidi. Just stuck to his task. Kept his eye on the chinking feet of Sebastian Tinekti. Just his 6th cap tonight. Born in Norway, where he was a youth international Tinekti.
slows things down. Always seems to have these days.
Surely. Also knows what he likes to do. It's no good standing over having it in the league in Denmark last season. Afcon. Look, he just slows things down. Roby always seems to have time these days.
Just went a little bit too early there. It's about measuring. Another little open argument.
Roby just went a little bit too early there. He picks it up, Medjbury. Looking for options. Nicely round the corner from Ndidi, and then another little flick from Ozyman, and then Iwobi into Ozyman, he's in behind, squares it to Lookman. Can Lookman seal this for Nigeria? Oh, he can! That is a stunning move from the Super Eagles. Super teamwork between the Nigerian side, ending with Lookman getting their third of the night. A torrid night for Tunisia. Well, that really does bode well for the rest of the competition. For the Super Eagles, when you see interplay like that and unselfish football like that as well. And Lookman, we know what he can do. His fifth goal in the African Cup of Nations, all of which have come in the last two tournaments. His second this time around. It was a lovely flick from Ndidi that started it. And then,
into the back of the net.
as he likes to do, Ozyman looking for Lookman. He just sized it up and dropped his shoulder. And the strike had too much pace on it. Off the chest of Diamond and into the back of the net. Nigeria are running away with this, and there is still a quarter of the game to go. And Tunisia's fight is largely lacking. As said, we saw more from them when disputing the decision by the referee a few minutes ago than we have done. Pitch through much of this game. That's nice from Medjbury. Valerie looking more dangerous now. It's just too far forward from Valerie. He's cross with himself as well. He must be cross to Trabelsi. I wonder if he will regret the fact that he tried to bolster the midfield, because that really blunted the Tunisian attack so far. And they do more. 20 minutes or so that remain. Every North African Nations Cup this century has been won by a North African team. Tunisia starting it off in 2004. Egypt hosts, just like Tunisia were in 2004. And the title in 2006, and then Algeria triumphing 6 years ago, also in Egypt.
Tunisia, something of a reality check for them as well. It's a nice corner.
All four representatives from the region opened their campaign this time around with victory. Morocco, they were held last night by Mali and Group A. And now Tunisia, something of a reality check for them as well. Medjbury, that's a nice ball in. And that's an important punch away from Wabali. Striker goal. Didn't catch it. He just slashing at it from distance. And the story still for Tunisia. Yet to have a chance in goal, yet to really get in the game. And we played 70 minutes. Roby, Lookman, Ndidi. That's showboating time almost from Nigeria. And Yamachi caught.
Greece in January after his previous career in Portugal.
He's feeling the force of that challenge from Shuri. To Greece in January after his previous career in Portugal.
Where he's got the balance of his side right to
this is a performance that is going to convince those in Nigeria from Shell.
Tunisians from dominating there.
Yeah, he's got the balance of his side right and did supremely well bringing that man on Yeka into the side today. Tighten it up in midfield. Prevented the Tunisians from dominating there and allowing the creative players to do what they do best, and well, they have done that. He spoke strongly before the tournament, did Trabelsi. Tunisia are always here at this tournament, a record extending 17th straight qualification for them. Often at the World Cup too. They do not always deliver. He says to win trophies you need something extra. You have good players, but few compete in the top leagues or reach European finals. To go far, you need a united, balanced group with character. And with that, we can aim high. Well, it's not happening so far for him. On his side. Skiri. Inside. Skiri again. On Yeka. And that's the batsman he does week in, week out. Draws the foul as well. Skiri with it. Just take their time.
Space for him. Clipped.
Match break. Abdi. Space for him. Clipped. Free kick Tunisia.
Sure, they're going to be coming back to Tunisia, but
Ndidi. They're there to bring him down.
They're going to make another substitution shortly as well, bringing on another forward. Smile Garvey.
I'm not sure they're going to be coming back to Tunisia, but now could be consolation. Could it be more? Could it be a launch pad? They're going to make another substitution shortly as well, bringing on another forward, Ismail Garbi. He's just going to have to wait a bit. He's delighted to come on with a platform to build on. Mejbri with the delivery. Headed on and headed in. And they do pull one back. And Rabani is beaten. And Talbi it is who has converted. Well, is that consolation or is that something more? Fine ball in from Mejbri and a really good header as well. And in all sorts of problems on the line. Seemed to get his left foot just stuck in the turf. As a sure he goes off. Ismail Garbi, 21-year-old with Augsburg in Germany. Attacking midfielder. Also plays on the wings. He is on. And Tunisia do something very unlikely here. Here is the first touch for Garvey. Just his 10th cap. 1 goal to his name. Valerie. Is that going to give him belief? Garvey. Others. And then tries to set Osman on his way. It's all around. Osman from Tabi. Scored last month against Jordan in a friendly. There's 4 goals for Tunisia for nearly 60 appearances. And Skiri scored a header against Uganda. Tunisia's first header goal at the Nations Cup in 10 years, and they've got 2 in just a few days. The accusations are that Uganda is wasting time, but you could see when he went down to try and make the side that his left foot did get stuck in that ground. Fairly awkwardly. I'm not hugely surprised that the 29-year-old based in South Africa with Chipper United. Seeking some treatment. And that's the point he is making as well. All but one of his now 29 caps having come since January last year. Al-Bali. Just 4 goals at the last tournament, 2 of which came in the final. 4 clean sheets as well. Not going to be out of that tally tonight, of course. And Nigeria also making changes. Chigera, the Duque, said to come on. Duque, another based in Spain with Sevilla, just like Macron. Lookman flicks it on despite the attentions behind him of the much taller Sassi. Macron down on the floor. Just a throw to Tunisia. Free kick goes Nigeria as well. There's the Simon, the other player who's going to be coming on. Veteran of Nigeria's national team. So the players coming off. Macron. His chance to score earlier this half. Terrific cross for Osman early on. And Nyeka also coming off.
7 years of age.
You make that 2 wingers coming off for 1 forward and 1 midfielder, so is it a rejig? Can Eric Shell, or does he want more goals?
Out of the side, so he'll be absolutely delighted to be on the field.
27 years of age, Ajuke. His 11th cap tonight. Recently back in the team as of last month for the World Cup qualifiers. And after nearly 4 years out of the side, so he'll be absolutely delighted to be on the field. And he's got good memories, I'm sure, playing against Tunisia, given he made his Nigeria debut against them back in 2020. And he's approaching 90 caps for the Super Eagles. Very much at the opposite end of the spectrum of 30-odd. This is fourth Cup of Nations as William actually tries to deliver the cross. A little deflection, just takes it into Damo. Nascuri trying to hold it up, and Bassi just showing his strength and dispossessing him, but then caught himself. Tunisia supporters urging their side on, hoping against hope that they can find their way back into this game. We've got a corner to cheer. Selected the player who wins it. Temperature really dropping here as you see the crowd announced of just over 25,000 in the stadium, which hosts 3 group games and the round of 16 game involving the side that tops this group, which is looking very much like being Nigeria. With a good delivery again. Met glancing off a Nigerian head and behind for another corner. Really has put in some excellent set pieces. Created the most chances of the Tunisian side against Uganda in match week 23 next month. Another opportunity to deliver a dangerous ball in again, which he does. Here's Simon. His first touch can clear the lines for Nigeria. Iwobi, measured ball forward to Lukman. Osimhen on the charge, wanted it. Demonstrated with Lukman when it didn't happen. Just safely back to Rabali. Don't need to do anything special, Nigeria. Just need to take the stick out of the game and just see this one home. Nice kick from Brom. Lucky enough goes to Mejri. Lovely turn from him. Into space he goes. Wants options. That's a lovely ball inside. Mastori's in the middle. If they can find it, they can't. Inches away from pulling back the deficit to just 1 goal. Garbi to Valerie. Skiri. Using his shoulder to control it into Talbi, but Tunisia goal scorer Abdi. They're in behind again here, Tunisia. And that's behind for a corner. Well, as I've said before, when they put 3 up front, Tunisia, they look at a completely different team. And over on the far side, Tunisia is just whipping up the crowd. You can see the flags flying on your screen. And what's this from Tunisia in the first hour or so of the game? Mejri. Here he comes, misses. He goes a long way. He does have some unusual thoughts in his head, does the Nigerian goalkeeper. Not sure he needed to see that out of the way. Inside Tunisian fans. There might have been a handball in there, I think. Osimhen down on the floor. Mejri labouring the point, or trying to. And this may well be looked at again. Or did that hit the arm on the side? This will be a better angle. And it did. How much intention was there? This is rather than an unnatural position. Ron protesting. And the referee just indicating to the players that he's awaiting instruction. You can see that the Tunisian fans, this might be something for them. Sammy Trabelsi, the coach, with a Lisa-like expression as he looks on. Hold up in play. Well, they were 3-0 down, and he is indeed going to go and look at the screen. And Tunisia, after finding one back, could well have an opportunity to get a second. And let's not forget that there was that hold up and play earlier in the game, which meant there should be a fair amount of additional time. No doubt whatsoever did it hit the arm of Osei Samuel. He's the arm in an unnatural position. A little bit of pushing with the opponent Talbi on the side. Traore.
Which way is it going to go?
And from Mali in the middle, taking his time to consider this. Discussing with his VAR crew as well, led by Issa Sy, Senegalese, when he's made his decision. And which way is it going to go? Tunisia going to be given the opportunity from 12 yards to pull back the deficit. They are!
Keeping the protests. Decision has been made.
Well, the decision greeted like a goal inside the Fez Stadium.
And they do a goalkeeper, Moraba, taking the penalty. He's going to be
Indeed,
the responsibility.
leading the protests. The decision has been made. All eyes now. And the Nigeria goalkeeper, whoever is going to be taking the penalty. He's going to be Ali Abdi, given the responsibility. Well, this will be some comeback. Tunisia having looked dead and buried. With the opportunity to put it back to just -1. And they do, thumped by Abdi. Tunisian supporters celebrating flares being lit in the stands. And they are back in it. Arms being punched up in the sky all around me. Nigeria cannot believe this. And there is 3 minutes and whatever is added on, there must be at least 5 minutes. Possibly more. That is how you take a penalty. We were hoping that this was going to be one of the games of the tournament, and it is proving to be so already. Look at the delight and no wonder. It's almost disbelief. Tunisia were nowhere in this game. They were being played off the park. They are very much bit Batiste, and he is far more nervous than he expected to be just a few moments ago. Bassi. Fever inside this stadium beginning to build. And the chance from some very previously quiet Tunisian fans beginning to fill this arena. It's going to be all about how much additional time is added on. Nobody just taking it at a time. Forward he goes. Osman up there. Gone with the header away. Garbi. And then you're matching Lukman. Sassi. Mejbri. And Asai. Watch that all the way forward to Ejuke. And Ejuke loses it. And Sassi brings this forward. And Tunisia can break. Tunexi over on the far side. Nastouri alone in the middle for now. Tunexi still going forward. Into the middle it goes. And it just couldn't drop for Ismail Garbi. Indeed, cursing through this Tunisian team. Mejbri dictating the play. Valerie. Garbi falls backwards. from Sassi. Skiri, regular in the path in midfield for Tunisia. Garbi. And so he gets contact on it. Nigeria turn it out and there's a throw in for Tunisia, and here comes the board. He's just going to tell us 7 minutes is what we've got. A grandstand finish at the end of this Group C campaign. As it stands, Nigeria on 6 points. Leapfrogging Tunisia, who started the day top just on goal difference. Tunisia on 3, Uganda, Tanzania, 1 apiece. Nigeria will be going through if they can just hold on. There's a foul. An opportunity for Nigeria to make a substitute. Shun. Chidozie and Waziem coming on. Centre back with Nantes. Lookman, the man sacrificed. A few moments ago, 2 wingers on for that forward and that midfielder. Lookman's goal. It looked to have absolutely killed this game off. Instead, it somehow sparked a furious finish. Mejbri at the heart of it for Tunisia. He really does give them so much.
Sorry, he just looks wrong to us, isn't
Sassi. Mejbri. Forward. Abdi cannot control it. And Saïd just looks wrong to Osimhen. And Gron with the easy header. Ojuke picks it up. Skiri now very, very deep. We'll start to build another Tunisian attack. Mejbri. Tunekti on his left. They've got 4 forward. Such a contrast to earlier in the game. Tunekti, who's made a real difference since he's come on. They go deep. Mabani needs to gather. Hasn't. And Simon away. Convincing from the Nigerian goalkeeper again. Osimhen just want to hold on to this, and Nigeria might just want to play a bit of keep ball because they are rocking. It will be. Indeed. Slow it down and pass it around is surely the name of the game for the Super Eagles right now. Bassi. He charges forward. He's a centre-back. Simon. Back into Bassi, who, despite needing to hold on, is in a left-wing position, as said. Onto the centre of defence. And now he does start going back over the halfway line. Slips forward. Ojuke, that's a superb first touch. He can win it here for Nigeria. Diamond gets the block in. Osimhen now has his head in his hands because he wanted that played square. Well, will that prove costly? He's being urged back by Shell. Mejbri. Tunekti. Tunekti again trying to get round Asai. Cannot. Mejbri in a lot of space. You know what he can do from a set piece. He chooses to go back to the winger. In it goes to Sassi! And Sassi's just inches past the post! Will they get another chance? Wabali was flat-footed. Look at that. That's the difference between Tunisia drawing level. He put it back from where it came. Got that bit right. So unlucky. The 33-year-old captain for Tunisia. This is 4th Afcon, but first in 6 years, and that would have been a moment to savour. 2.5 minutes for Nigeria to hold on. The defensive resolve As we go on and the composure to Mesbury. Ali Abdi, he's a danger man for this Tunisian side. Despite being at fullback, Tunecti back into Mesbury. They're pushing the centre forward. Talbi is in the area. The central defender for Tunisia. Here's Garbi. Garbi, that's a good tackle coming in on him from Onyemachi. And that'll be a Tunisian throw. Skiri. Space again for Tunecti, who scores lots of problems. And is doing so again for Asai. Into the middle it goes, and Rabali comes, doesn't gather. Sassi tees it up, strike a goal. Just past the left-hand post to the dismay of Ismail Garbi.
Still got a minute to go.
Well, Garbi came, Majani got his head through it, and then Sassi aware enough to find the Tunisian substitute just didn't get hold of it. He even wanted to do. The time ticks forward. Just over a minute to go. And Mabari is going to go into the book. And the fact that he's not being sent off confirmed that he wasn't booked at the end of the first half. It must have been somebody else, still unclear to me. Into the final minute we go. Mabari was his arms around his opponent. The referee's just touched the ball from the flick-on for Mesbury. And that'll be a drop ball, which I'm sure will just go Tunisia's way. He must be delighted, Sami Trabelsi, by their spirit shown by his side. He was talking, I said earlier, about the unity this team needed, and we're beginning and have begun to see that in the last 20 minutes or so. Well, will we go much past the 7th minute of additional time? We do now. But for how much longer? Mesbury glides away from Irobi. Garbi in a lot of space down this right-hand side for Tunisia, and that's a solid challenge coming in from Onyemachi. There is not much more time because the whistle blows for the final time, and Nigeria have won an absolutely enthralling Group C encounter. They made so much hard work of it after looking in cruise control midway through the second period. Goals from Victor Osimhen at the end of the first half gave them a 1-0 lead at the break. Then Wilfred Ndidi with his first ever international goal for Nigeria. He made it 2 before Lukman midway through the second period. Gave Nigeria a 3-0 lead, whereupon it looked like they were just cruising over the line instead. Montasa Talbi headed home, and then Ali Abdi from the penalty spot made it an exciting finish, but in the end Tunisia could not do enough, and Nigeria are through to the knockout stages of the Africa Cup of Nations for the 16th time in a row for them in their qualifications. What a game it has been. Tunisia will look to pick up points on their final match day on Tuesday against Tanzania. Nigeria will take on Uganda here in Fez. It is ended at the end of an absolutely mouth-watering contest. Nigeria 3, Tunisia 2.
Victory, and they are progressing to the knockout round for the 16th consecutive time. You can't take anything away from the spirited comeback of the Tunisian side.
What an encounter we have finally seen our second round of football games at the 35th installment of the Africa Cup of Nations. The Super Eagles have come through back-to-back victory, and they are progressing to the knockout round for the 16th consecutive time. But you can't take anything away from the spirited comeback of the Tunisian side. Not to be, they will be disappointed that they couldn't actually turn things around. But then the result is what matters to the Super Eagles. They are through to the round of 16 with just a ceremonial third place fixture to come. This is what has happened today. The Republic, of course, are pushing themselves further with that 1-0 win over Botswana in Group D early game. Well, Senegal and DR Congo was a hard-fought victory. Sorry, a draw, I beg your pardon. But we have seen goals that come through, all of them today. Uganda, Tanzania thought they were running away with it. Uganda came back into this game, got a penalty that got ballooned up. And then we saw the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia play out the most goals at the Africa Cup of Nations so far. 5 goals. All of this we'll try to unpack after this.
Live on Supersport, only on DSTV. This broadcast is proudly brought to you by 10Bet.
10Bet, official betting partner of Bafana Bafana.
This is Afcon, my friend. Everything is the competition.
Afcon 2025. Catch every match in 6 languages with analysis by the continent's biggest stars. Live on Supersport, only on DSTV. This broadcast is proudly brought to you by 10Bet.
And double your winnings. Dad, I'm a genius. We don't have to freeze anymore. I can make us penguins fly.
That's going to be tricky without wings.
Exactly. That's why I've got Red Bull. It gives you wings. All we have to do is drink it.
And how?
Come on, Dad. Just drink it.
But why? Why? It's 40 degrees below. Or did you think we're standing here for fun? Red Bull gives you wings, but only if you drink it.
Reaction. In 3 explosive